Today's guest is a shredder, and I mean it. This guy can shred for days, man. He is a perfectionist when it comes to metalcore on the guitar. I've known him since I was in high school, and yeah, we go way back. But I didn't know how much he knew about guitars. So if you are a guitar nerd, like me, this is the episode for you. If you just want to get educated, this is the episode for you. If you just like hanging out, might as well. You're already here. Anyways, please welcome my good friend and guitarist, EVERETT EUGENIO. All right, we'll start right here.
Cool, dude.
Welcome.
Thanks, man.
I'm exhausted. It's hot outside, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. I can tell you've also gotten tan over the course of the weekend.
Yeah, dude. California is... I've never been. That's my first time ever in California in general. So, yeah, first impression was very, very real. Have you been to California?
Yeah, I've been there, but never for like music, nothing like that. Like just as a kid going there. But,
okay, like family trips and stuff.
But how did it feel? Did it feel like a Warped Tour? Or did it feel different?
It didn't. It felt like a music festival. It doesn't feel like Warped Tour.
Like Warped Tour.
You went to Warped Tour in San Antonio a few times, maybe.
Yeah. So I only saw pictures and stuff, right? And so I saw the picture of like the big inflatable, set times.
Right.
Thing.
That's the closest. Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that brought back memories of.
Yeah.
You never knew. Like, you always had to get to Warped Tour, like, right away, because you never knew if, like, the band you wanted to see was going to start at, like, 9 a.m., So, anyways.
Yeah, I forgot what that's like, honestly, because I think the last time I went was in 2013. Yeah. And, so it was kind of, it's, like, now that we're older, it's kind of frustrating, because, like, you want to plan your day out a little bit, more than, like, when you're a kid. When you're a kid, it's life simpler, so... Yeah. But you want anything to drink? I forgot to ask you.
Oh, no.
I got sparkling water and stuff.
No.
You good? All right, just want to ask that. But yeah, other than that, I mean, it was humongous. I think, I could be wrong. This is just word on the street. I think there was 85,000 people out there. So, and it's obviously all these bands that we grew up with, they were there, but they're bigger now. So you're not getting the whole, like they're at the tents, right?
Yeah.
Like some of them are at the tents, but most like the smallish artists,
Yeah.
But yeah, man, sorry, I didn't introduce you, but yeah, welcome, welcome, EVERETT. I put your name up here because I like to do that. So
you spelled it right too.
I know,
which is a big plus.
Do people forget a T?
No, most people put an E at the end. They go EVERETTE
to keep it balanced with the first E, probably.
Yeah, probably. I don't know, but the number of times that happens is very frequent.
Really?
Yeah.
Like even, yeah.
I'd say more.
Like at work and stuff, maybe?
It's more frequent that it's wrong.
Like at Starbucks or whatever?
Yeah. Like, so the last job I had, like, they, like, put your name in this, like, global address list for, like, anyone that, like, works in the same area as you to find you. And I was just, like, for the two years, I didn't even change it, but they had... my last name and my first name flipped, and then like the wrong middle initial. And like,
that could be a first name. Now that you mention it,
it is. So it is a first name. So it's a first name in like Latina culture, and it's a last name like in Italian culture. And so like, especially being here in San Antonio, I get told all the time that I'm saying my last name wrong. People are like, "Oh, it's Eugenio," and I'm like, "Oh, like."
That's how I never heard someone pronounce it, but I was gonna say Eugenio, which is kind of like what you did there.
Yeah,
but,
so as a first name, and like in Hispanic culture, that's how it's pronounced. It's like more like a io.
Yeah.
At the beginning, whereas like in like for me, it's the last name. I just say it as wide as possible.
Eugenio. That's even wider.
Yeah, it sounds like a Mario character,
Yeah. But yeah, dude, that's awesome. But yeah, so you have a huge musical history. We met in high school. We didn't go to the same high school, but we crossed paths.
Craigslist.
It was Craigslist.
It was it might have been Facebook. Most of the like back in the day. The way you would find bandmates was like Craigslist.
Yeah.
Like, the men seeking men section.
Oh, yeah. The subcategory, of course.
Yeah, exactly. No, but yeah, it was one of those things, right? And so, I had been jumping around from like project to project around that time. And so, yeah, in high school, it had to have been Craigslist.
I imagine, because there was no Facebook Marketplace or whatever they got going on over there.
No.
And there was no Bandmix. I think Bandmix is the thing right now. Am I wrong?
It?
Bandmix, I've been on it before. I have for like a little bit, but not that much. I just know it exists. It's there. People have actually reached out to me from Bandmix. And so,
Really?
Yeah.
I've never had success with platforms like
But you gotta
Bandmix.
pay for that one. You gotta pay for Bandmix.
Do you really?
If you want it to be like, if you want to get the most out of it, yeah.
Yeah. So
I put my phone number on it.
Yeah, every single like opportunity I've had has been through like knowing someone. Like at
That's
least
good.
like,
That's even better,
in this
dude.
day and age. Like, except for Holding Space. Holding Space I started because of a Facebook post that they needed a guitarist. So I went into that one blind to not knowing any of the members. But all of the other projects I've either started myself or through like knowing people.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah, I mean, I think it's better to like know people, so you have at least some sort of foundation. You can kind of meet them at first. It's not like a blind date. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's just more, I don't know. It just feels like more homey or more family way in a way. Because I hear a lot about like starting bands. Like you got to have like a building block and see if everyone meshes together and so forth. So I just feel like we need to go back to that. That's just my personal opinion. I don't know how, but I know today is different. Everyone is trying to find a good band member, and so you do want at the same time kind of you want to reach out to as many people as you possibly can. So that's the beauty of Bandmix, in my opinion. But that's good. So Zach started, right? Zach Liao, he started Holding Space, or who was it?
Yeah. So he started Holding Space a few years ago, and so he wrote the first EP for that on his own and released that, and then picked up members along the way.
So he was like a solo artist at that point, or
Yeah, I don't think that. I'd have to ask him if it's like I don't think he was ever anticipating being a solo artist, but the EP he wrote, I'm not sure that he had any help in writing. Now he had a producer and some people that laid down some instrumentals and layers for that EP, but in terms of like the progressions and in terms of the lyrics and the melodies for his singer songwriter type, like he wrote it all on an acoustic guitar.
Damn.
And all of the vocals on his own, and then went into the studio, finished the EP. Then he picked up who ended up being a guitarist for a little bit and then a drummer in the band, Brendan, and then picked up Evan, who was the bassist, and then myself as the guitarist. And then throughout the entirety of Holding Space, we had quite a few other like fill-in members here and there that we'd have a little bit of time. We had like a drummer that joined for about 4 months, 6 months. Then we had a couple guitarists that, either just weren't good fits or had, too much going on in life. So, anyways, that right now is on a hiatus just because we're all kind of working on other projects right now. We also like have something like really weird happen where like this one song, probably like one of our least popular songs, like when you go and look, it's
always those.
Because like we had got to where through like paid like meta promotion,
third party app or whatever, third party
like using
servicer.
using some like curators to get on some playlists and stuff, but like all organically, we were at a point at one point where we were actually at 30,000 listeners.
No way.
And yeah, so we were at 30,000 monthly listeners.
Do you know what part of the world was listening mostly?
Yeah, I mean the U.S. was I think the biggest, but then what was interesting was I want to say our second biggest was Brazil.
Dude, Brazil has a huge metal community.
Yeah,
I always because like I'm always looking at like the comments like on when like big bands play or when they post like on Instagram, and I always see the Brazil sign for some reason.
Yeah,
that's
well,
crazy.
and whenever we were reaching out to curators, like to be like, hey, like listen to our music, you know, if there's any like playlists you can put on, like I would say the curators out of Brazil we were a lot more successful with than the curators out of like I would say like Eastern Europe and out of like the U.S. And in the U.S. we had some luck in Chicago with some of the curators there. I still like keep in touch with some of them, and actually a good amount of like.
Sorry to interrupt you, but what's a curator? I have no idea what it is.
Yeah, so curators like they like will basically help you in terms of like they'll listen to your music and they'll like identify like a playlist or like a platform that could help grow you as like an artist, or and so like usually for either a fee, or if they like really believe in you, then like they'll do it for like a cut of like future profit or revenue. But typically it's like for a flat fee. They'll like find someone who has like a playlist that they feel like your music fits on. And so if you hire a curator, think about it almost like hiring a manager, but instead of like dealing with like bookings and shows and that stuff, they're dealing with like which platforms and playlists your music should be going on to like reach
the digital world,
right, and on the digital world. And so
that's cool.
Like you can do it like a la carte, or you can kind of like for me, I've been dealing with the same girl out of the Netherlands for like 3 of my projects that has been doing pretty much all my curation. And so anyways, all that goes to say that one of the songs that we didn't even ever promote or curate or anything was a song called I Won't. We were pretty like anal about every single day, like checking our metrics to see like trends and how things were going. And I remember there was just one day that the song called I Won't like popped up to like 1,500 views in a day, like out of nowhere for just like one day.
And you just wake up and you just like,
it's
whoa.
like, whoa, it's like all of a sudden it's, you know, getting as many views as like our top songs, if not more. And I was like, whoa. And like, we were like, we're not paying for any meta promotion. We're not paying for like, this wasn't one of the songs we asked our curators to try and like get on playlists or anything. And one of the members even said, he's like, I think we just got like botted, like, you know, like a bunch of bots just like coming and listening. Didn't think anything of it for a little while. And then all of a sudden Spotify was like, we've seen some weird behavior, specifically on I Won't. And
that's the name of the song called I Won't.
That was the song, what the song was called. And as a result, they took down Zach and like all of Zach's EP.
Uh-huh.
And so like our top performing song, Push and Pull, was on that EP in terms of like even without meta promotion or without like any type of like curation. Like a lot of the months it would still be pulling like 5,000 to 10,000 listens. So it was like an anchor. And so whenever all that got pulled down, I mean, it wasn't just like they pulled it down. They were like, we're going to pull you down. And then the music that we're not pulling down is essentially going to get like throttled. So it really put Zach kind of in like a mood of
yeah, that's terrible.
Like,
man. I imagine.
He was just frustrated.
That's his baby.
And so, you know, I had 2 side projects going. He had a side project going. And so he was just kind of like, hey, we're going to go into a permanent hiatus until, you know, either his mind changes or whatever. Because that wasn't a mutually, like, created thing. That was, you know, Zach created that from the ground up. So it wasn't like something that we could continue without him. Now, I will say, like, it was a bit of a bummer because, like, we spent lots of time and money. You know, we did a full album. You know, we had 9 songs tracked, mixed, mastered, ready to go. And so we had, like, the discussion of, like, okay, well, you know, the ones that I wrote, like, a lot of the ones that I wrote, we had the discussion of, okay, well, I'm going to just, like, take those with me and
it's like it's like having a non-aggressive divorce. Like, you take the dog, I'll take the kids or whatever. It's just
And to be clear, like, I talk to Zach every day. Like, he literally like yesterday, he sent me some visual stuff for some social media posts coming up, like, hey, like, how are these coming across? What do you think about them? So like there's no ill will at all.
That was what I was hoping for. Yeah, no, that's what I was hoping for. But I'm glad that that's the case.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, absolutely, it's the case. And like for me, at the end of the day, like it's not gonna go all to waste. Like I'm gonna have to like rework some of the songs that I wrote to add like different melodies and different lyrics than like how we wrote them for Holding Space. But I at least have like about 5 songs or so that are the instrumentals are fully written for, ready to go. And like maybe other than changing a few parts, like I can kind of like have something to build off of rather than starting from scratch. And then I have my other side project, the instrumental side project, Threadbare, which is taking a good amount of time right now until we complete our EP. I do that right now with Joe Dragic, and so he's super busy producer, songwriter, guitar instructor. Like he does it full time. Like he does nothing but music. And so he's, his main band is Semper, which is out of
how do you say it? Semper Acrebus or Acre something?
Acrebus, yeah. So he's
they're good, man.
Dude, they're phenomenal. They actually have a show coming up on the 8th. So here
in San Antonio, Texas.
Yeah, and they're gonna headline. And I'm not gonna say who they're opening for because I don't know if it's been released yet or not.
It's fine.
But like I do know in the next like year they are going to be opening for some national tours.
Heck yeah, man!
Like
I want to go.
Crazy
go?
big.
You want to go to that?
Oh, like especially if they have a leg through Texas. I think there's going to be a lot of European and South American legs with the band that they're going to be touring with and opening for, but it's going to be huge for them. And so anyways, he and I are trying to finish Threadbare right now. We finished 5 songs. We're working on 6 now. We don't know if we're going to land on 6 or 7 for like the EP release.
Yeah.
But it's a fun project because like whenever you write musically, when you have to worry about vocals and like vocal melodies and layering and where you're sitting in the mix, there's an art to it and it's really important. But sometimes it's kind of nice as the guitarist to not have to worry about that and for the guitar to be the focal point. And so Joe is exceptionally talented technically. He and I work really well together. We can knock songs out extremely quickly. And so we decided, hey, Threadbare is going to be kind of like a intervals, polyphia style, like of like guitar-centric instrumental metal, right? Or metalcore. And so that's kind of been.
I like how you're sticking with the metalcore and the. Are you not? Holding Space was pop punk.
Yeah, it was pop punk.
Or emo,
I mean,
whatever.
I wrote all of Gaslighter, minus the lyrics.
I like that one.
And that one was more like
that was the last song that y'all shared, right? Or was it? Or it was kind of recent.
It was a more recent one, but like I wrote that one, and that one was definitely a lot heavier than anything Holding Space had put out before.
Is it still up on YouTube? I know on Spotify.
Yeah. So Gaslighter's up on Spotify because it wasn't part of the EP that got taken down, but they're just not putting it on their playlists anymore. Like Gaslighter, I would say right now is our top performing song that's remaining. Push and Pull used to be it. So Gaslighter right now is averaging a little over 100 organic listens a day.
Damn.
So what, about 3,000 listens a month on its own. And I don't know that we have any other songs right now that are organically performing that well. Push and Pull is like over that by quite a bit. I want to say it was like a 200 or 300 per day.
Is Push and Pull still up on YouTube?
No,
it's not, because I
probably
did hear it, but I don't remember.
Yeah, there's a live version. So they put out a live album, and so the live album version is still up on Spotify, but the actual studio version of that entire EP is gone.
Damn, I'm sorry to hear about that, man.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Like, it is what it is. I can tell you right now, Joe, the same guy that's working on me with Red Bear, is working with Zach on something coming up that's, I've been listening to it. It sounds really, really good. So I'm excited for that to come out for them.
So Joe is doing Threadbare with you.
Threadbare with me.
And then
he's
he's
doing
doing
something else with Zach right now that hasn't really been released yet. I want to say they're probably in about 7 songs in to this project, and they're well ahead of like. The thing I suck at is social media. Like you go to Threadbare's socials right now, there's like 1 post.
And are you the manager of that?
Yeah, like
media?
I do kind of everything for it, right?
It's a lot of work, man.
Yeah, and you know, like part of the reason that I'm not involved like with this Zach and Joe project is like they both have like career aspirations in music, and like while I think it would be really cool to go tour like once or whatever, like I'll do the production side like from home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'll like
yeah
play around here, but like I don't ever anticipate like fully like moving away from my salaried income to like be a full-time musician. It's just like I don't think that's in the cards for me. So like whereas they still have that dream and that aspiration, and so I think a lot of like that kind of went into them doing this project on their own, was like they want people who are like career minded.
Yeah, they're all gas.
Yeah,
all gas pedal.
Yeah,
that's good,
and they're doing good. They're doing some good stuff. So, once they release that first song, I'm sure like Joe or Zach would be more than happy to come talk about it.
That's cool. Yeah. I know who Joe is because I reached out to Zach and he told me about Joe, so I know who he is.
Yeah, Joe's
more or less.
Joe's great. You know, he's kind of a do it all. Like, first off, he's definitely like a top 5 most technical guitar players.
Really, more than you? Because you're pretty technical.
Like probably 3 times more technical than me. Like not even close. So I don't. It's funny. I have people who tell me that I'm talented or technical. I don't consider myself technical. I consider myself well practiced. That's how I say it. Right. Like for me, I'm very much more of like I play by ear. I practice. You know, practice makes perfect. Joe is like he knows the scale and the mode and like how to change like modalities, and you know like he knows all of the theory on the like back like it's the back of his hand.
He needs to write a book.
Yeah, well he actually did. He just put out a course.
Are you? Oh yeah,
wow. He just put out a guitar course. So he he does private lessons. He produces, he mixes, he masters, he writes music. He's the lead guitarist for a band that's about to open nationally for a
household name band, probably.
Yes.
That's pretty
a
awesome.
Household band, like named band, and so like and they have an upcoming album with like household name vocalists that are gonna be featuring on it. Like I won't say who, but like you saw one of them recently.
Oh, let's go.
So like,
let's go.
Like there's like a lot going on there. And without saying, like, I don't know if you saw the show that you were at that I was at that I was backstage for.
Yeah, we all say that.
Yeah. So
no. I don't know what band you're talking about.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, like, that's how we got backstage.
Oh, that's cool.
The vocalist for one of those bands is going to be doing a feature for
right on.
Them, so
yeah, dude, what's it like going backstage like at something that big because it was a Summer of Loud.
Yeah,
right, it's no secret. You put it on your social media.
Yeah,
it was Summer of Loud. So there's a lot of bands, but
yeah. So it's stressful because and here's why, right? Like you're like you get backstage passes, but like you're constantly worried about being in the way. Like that's the thing, right? You're always like you want to like not be in the way of any of the process, right?
You want to be the reason why something goes wrong.
Yeah, and like as you've seen, like people go like like when they're doing the set changes, like there's heavy equipment being moved around, all of that. And so you kind of also don't want to be like the person who's backstage that seems like you don't fit in and like asking for selfies with every single person or anything like that, right?
Yeah.
So you're like the way I would say
for me
is,
that'd be a little
like,
stressful.
Like it's a different perspective. Another thing that like people that have never been backstage don't understand is like there is no audio on stage.
So
like
you don't hear really anything.
You hear the drummer.
Just the drummer, yeah.
You hear the drummer and you hear like the audience, but like, you know, there used to be a day of like having guitar cabs and like wedges.
Which some bands still do that.
Some do.
At Warped Tour, there was a few, but most of them are digital. So yeah.
Almost everyone's digital.
Yeah,
so I can tell you, of all the bands that I saw while I was backstage, pretty much every single one of them was running Kempers on the side stage and then pushing that out of the PA.
Feels like you're in a music video. I mean, maybe, I don't know. It's just like, what's going on here, guys?
No,
I'm here to rock or something. I don't know.
We, you know, we had a lot of fun. You could like get a whole different perspective. Yeah. You meet a lot of people. Like we met the manager for Mayday Parade.
Oh, nice.
While we were there, and she and I we talked a bit, and I think we're gonna hang out with them. They're coming to San Antonio in October with All Time Low, and so I think we're gonna go hang out with them. But yeah, I mean it's cool from like a networking and like seeing the process perspective, but then it's like I'm just like standing there and like this little van pulls up and all the Devil Wears Prada like is just standing next to me. And then like I Prevail standing on the other side of me, and I'm like,
and you're like,
I don't want to be the dude that's like,
I mean, you don't want to get kicked out, but you probably don't want to be, because the person that you know that got you in, you don't want to make them look bad too.
Exactly. Yeah.
Do I have that right? Yeah.
Right.
That's probably going through your head.
So I mean, like I said a couple of things because like some of the bands that went on earlier, like that venue, like the sun goes down behind the audience, so everyone that was like playing pre-sunset was dealing with like having to look straight into the sun. And so like I walked up to a couple of them like once the sun was set, and it was like a lot cooler, and I was like, it's like, man, you had it way easier than they do. And like they laughed it off or whatever. But like outside of that, like I try to limit interactions, you know. Especially like the ones that I really try to limit interactions are like the ones that I've been backstage because like we opened for someone, and so we were back there because like we were like the local opener. And then it's like you really don't want to be like making a bad name for like the local scene if like you're backstage for that reason. So
and just for your name too, be like, oh, that guy Everett, don't hang out with him. Which I'm sure they don't say that, but you don't want that to be a thing. It's just, you gotta be professional.
No, you do. Absolutely. And like there's like it's interesting because like from an outsider's perspective, like I think of music as like my getaway, right? And like what I love, but not the entirety of my life. But there are people who do think about it as the entirety of their life.
Right.
So like sometimes like the things that I don't think are a big deal, others might think are a big deal. So I have to also look at it from that perspective, because I've like butted heads with like managers before because they're like, hey, move this box from here. And I'm like, there's nowhere else to put the box, and it's out of the way there.
Managers
like, for like venues and stuff, but like you know,
like when you're performing, like you're like before your set or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. It's just stuff like that. Yeah. It's like, you know, like we'll have our in-ear box like out of the way somewhere, and like the headliner will be like, no, it's cool. Like their box can stay there, but the manager will still be like, no. I said you need to move the box, and it's just like, oh, okay. So there's like little things like that you learn like to.
That goes with any job, right? Like, or anything. There's always going to be something that, you know, someone's going to be calling some sort of shot somewhere. Not every shot, hopefully, but like
But yeah, and you know what? But like it's like Joe, like definitely want to like, you know, throw his name out there, because especially if you're in San Antonio, like he's a great producer. He's a great guitar instructor. He has a course online. He's who I use for all my instrumental tracking.
Really?
For sure.
Yeah.
Like, and you know, if you listen to Threadbare, any of the Threadbare stuff is 100% tracked, produced, mixed, mastered, and put out by myself and Joe. Like there's nothing nobody else's fingerprints are on that. There's nothing else other than home studios and us on our guitars and MIDI drums, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So,
That's awesome, dude. How did you come up with the name Threadbare?
Joe did, actually. So, you know, and then I ran with it. And he actually thinks it's hilarious how much I run with it, because I was just like, we had about 3 songs, and I was like, we need to think of like a name for this project. And he actually was like, you know, I have this name that I've had for a long time that I've wanted to use that, you know, I've never been able to. Threadbare, which, you know, is like a saying for like getting old and wrinkly and like aging, but it's like, you know, it's spelled like, but like we changed the spelling to be like, instead of B-A-R-E, B-E-A-R, like a bear, like all is one word. And so I just like ran with it. So like our single album art is all bear themed, like the names of our songs are bear themed.
I like bears.
You know, we've even like eventually, like whenever we have the full EP out, I'm trying to do it in a way to where if in the future I want to do like an animation for the album that like tells a story from start to finish, it's like all like structured that way. And so I'll always like show Joe stuff and he'll just laugh, because he's like, dude, the fact that you're running with that name so much is hilarious, you know.
He sounds like a you know, and yeah, you said he's a control, I don't say freak, but he likes to do it all. But the fact that he let you run with the name,
yeah,
which is like
one of the he let me run with
crazy.
The name, yeah, and he you know, he's very, he does it all, but like, no, I wouldn't say has to be like, he and I work very well together. He's really good about like, if you go in there and you don't know what you're doing, like he'll start to take the reins a little bit. He and I have a really good work rhythm right now though. So I think it's pretty even split, like creatively. He definitely is the one though that like when it comes to like hands-on keyboard producing, he's much faster than I am. Like his workflow is very fast. Like he can knock out MIDI drums for an entire song in like 30 minutes.
That's
like,
cool.
So like he's got that down, but yeah, dude, we have a lot of fun with it. And if you're someone that like really likes like technical guitars and like grew up listening to like, I don't know, like August Burns Red type stuff, and like
100%,
you know, things that are just not like repetitive.
Yeah, if you have
chugging.
if you have ADHD and you like heavy music, I think So Joe's like he's one of me. He's one of you too.
Yeah,
that's cool.
Yeah. So yeah, and you know, I think like right around the time that this airs is going to be within that first week of this next song coming out, which is we've named the Mall, right? Like MAUL.
Oh,
and it's really interesting. Yeah, you know, it's a really interesting song because like it's energetic throughout the song, but then you know, there's this part at the end which is supposed to like notate like this like think of like a bear in captivity, right? Mm-hmm. Like people are going to the zoo, they're all seeing this thing, like it's like
throwing popcorn at it or
like
something.
Trainers know it, everything. But then you always hear about like these bears that are like these tigers, these things that just like out of nowhere just flip and like maul their trainer or like whatever. And so this song is that way. Like it's like 90% of the song is just like very energetic and technical, and then all of a sudden there's a big change in the tone of the song, and also then there's a key change like at the very end that really changes the tone of the end. It's like the last 30 seconds of the song.
Like the tempo changes, or
like, no, it's the tuning and
just the song itself.
The song itself. It really like the last 30 seconds sound completely different than the first like 3.5 minutes of the song.
And did on that one, what part did you write? What part did Joe write?
Oh, it's so hard at this point. Like, I would say we're pretty even on every song except for like 2 of them. Oblivion, I wrote pretty much all of, and Ursa Major He wrote pretty much all of, other than like some tweaks here and there, but the other songs were all pretty much like a collaboration, in terms of like writing.
Like the technicalities, like are you more main or lead, or is he more main lead, or is it like just it's
I
like
would
everywhere?
say I would say no. He's more lead because of his technical ability. I would say he and I both equally contribute to the parts, but when it comes to actually tracking the like more difficult lead parts, I'd say 70% of the time he's probably tracking the leads. And if it's like if it's a lead that you're just like, how does someone even play that? Joe probably was the one that tracked it.
Like if it sounds like he has 7 fingers, that's probably Joe.
Yeah, that's probably Joe. Yeah. I mean, there's some parts that I play that sound very technical, but actually aren't. Like, so there's some tapping parts that I play that, if you weren't a guitarist, you would be like, oh my gosh, it sounds like he has 7 fingers. But like, really, it's just like I'm holding a chord and then I'm tapping things over the top of it that sound really cool, and it sounds like I'm playing really fast, but in reality I'm just it's all just tapping. Whereas Joe's actually doing like the sweep picking and all of the like really advanced techniques of playing very quickly.
Yeah.
But
if you
yeah,
don't mind me asking, what guitar do you play?
oh dude, I have just depends, man. I have
Like for fast stuff.
for fast stuff, like I have a lot. So my main 6 string right now that I play live most of the time, you'll catch me playing it 90% of the time live, is a Mayonnaise Regis Forever. So it's a Polish guitar, handmade in Poland. It has an EVERTUNE on it. I refuse to tune during live sets. So if I'm playing a song, if I'm playing a guitar, I'm either only going to play it if it has like an EVERTUNE, or if it's so stable that it can play the songs I need to without retuning it. So
They have like pedals for that. Is that what that is? The
yeah,
EverTune?
well no, so the EVERTUNE is like
You're good.
EVERTUNE is a bridge where, kind of like a Floyd Rose, there's springs that are adjusted to a tension.
Oh wow.
And that tension counteracts the tension of the string that it's attached to. So whenever you're setting up like a Floyd Rose, the tension of the springs behind the Floyd Rose has to equal the tension of all of the strings in order for your Floyd Rose to stay level, right?
Wow.
For the EVERTUNE, there's 6 tension modules in a 6-string guitar, 6 springs, each that are going to be individually adjusted. And so you adjust the tension of that spring so that it is applying the perfect tension to whatever gauge of string you're using, so that it is always in the exact right tuning. So, I mean, you can.
That sounds like a lot of work. Is it a lot of work, or are you making it sound like it? Like
no, it's like the engineering. Like when they engineered it, I'm sure it was a ton of work. But like in terms of using it, no, it's like you use an Allen key. You change the strings, you tune it once, and then it should stay in tune forever.
That's cool.
And you never have to tune it again. And then if you change your set of strings and you use the same gauge strings whenever you put on a new set, it theoretically should still be in tune.
Right.
So yeah, I use that. And then that also has true temperament frets, which is also very weird, which is where the frets squiggle. And it's because whenever they squiggle, so they're not straight.
Oh, I've seen that. I was gonna buy one, but I went to Warped Tour instead. But hey, it is what it is, right? But it was the Ibanez something, but they have that where like as you get further down, the frets start to like bend away,
so that's multi-scale. So there's three different types, right? So you have your standard scale, which is like the straight, which is like they take the average of like the best intonation across all 6 strings and they put a straight fret, right? That's going to be like your Ibanez, like your LTD, like your typical guitar. Then they have the multi-scale, which Ibanez does a really good job
Yeah.
of, which is where it fans out. And so what that allows is it allows you to have a longer scale on your strings for like your lower notes, which means that you can maintain string tension and tuning better. And it allows you to have a shorter scale for your like higher notes. So like your high E is going to have a shorter scale length than your low E, or if you're on a 7 string, like your B string, right? And then that way you can go into much lower tunings, but you don't have to necessarily stretch the scale out for the higher notes. Like
Yeah.
True Temperament is no kidding, like it makes like an S shape in certain areas, because what it does is they look at where is the exact spot on this string for this scale length where this string needs to break over for that note. And then if the next string it's slightly different, they bend the fret to actually like match exactly. So with the EVERTUNE and the True Temperament, you're always in perfect tuning and perfect intonation.
Wow.
Hence why I use that guitar like 90% of the time.
I'll look it up. I'll definitely look it up.
Yeah.
But yeah, hey, who's your favorite guitarist? Do you have one besides yourself?
Oh man. So I would definitely say JB from August Springs Red.
Yeah.
Like
Dude, he's intelligent.
he is. And he's like me. He plays a
Yeah.
lot by ear, self-taught. Like you ever see interviews of him like, oh, like how did you come up with this modality or like this or that for this song? It's like he's very humble about just like we just were playing and like it sounded good, and you know, like he didn't have formal training. He just played by ear. That is exactly, you know, how I was. You know, I never went and took guitar lessons. I just
And I was going to ask about
learned
that
online.
too. But
Yeah.
I want to get back into that later, like how you started with music.
Okay.
But I met JB one time at he came to Vibes Event Center here in San Antonio, and I had him. I don't know. It's all I had on me was like a pick. I was like, hey, can you sign my pick?
Yeah.
He was like, what the hell? Like, why didn't we? Anyway, he signed it, so it was cool. But it was a very small pick. It was a Jazz 3.
Yeah.
And then he looks at it. He was like, "Is this what you play with?" Like, he's being dead ass serious. He's not trying to like make me feel good in a way. He is, but he's him, right?
Yeah.
So he's trying to help me.
Yeah.
And so he's like, "Dude, like you need to get a Jazz 3. Like it's a little bit bigger, but it's good for shredding." So I don't know if you use a Jazz 3. It's
take a look at
XL,
it.
Jazz 3 XL.
Jazz 3 XL. Now, I've used some Jazz 3s, not the XLs before. So, I like the shape. This feels like it's about 1 to 1.5 millimeters. I like the shape of it. I personally use the Dunlop Max grips because I lose picks a lot. Like, they fly out of my hands.
Mm-hmm.
And those Max grips have, like, an insane amount of tread on them.
Anti-butter?
Yeah, so they keep it from falling out of my hand. Also, you can ask even the holding space, like the other guitarist that joined us later on. Like I wrote some like really complicated guitar parts, and then I told him, I'm like, you're going to play this live. And he's like, well, what do you mean? I'm like, you're going to play it live. He's like, you don't want to play any of it? I'm like, no, I just want to play rhythm.
Yeah.
I just want to play rhythm, have a good time.
Which
like,
I'm surprised, like you shred. So
yeah, well, for me, I'd rather like out of sight, out of mind, like just like play rhythm and like move, be more of a stage presence than play more complicated stuff.
Yeah.
Like I don't need the like ego of being the lead guitarist. Like
that's fair.
Or like I'm not trying to impress anyone with that. I'm just going for the vibe.
Yeah. No, you're very secure. That's really awesome. Yeah, and I feel like most people don't know how smart you really are about guitars. I didn't know any of that you talked about earlier. I had no idea. Well, yeah, I'm gonna look at this video later on, and I'm gonna Google half the words you said.
Yeah, well, there's so much that goes into guitars, and that's kind of like my specialty, right? Like I just like I would say like when you go and talk to someone like Joe, he is like a freaking encyclopedia of guitar theory, playing, things like that.
Yeah.
I am an encyclopedia of guitar brands, woods, scale lengths, like like the physical,
you can touch it, if you
like the
touch
physical guitar, like when it comes to like things like that, like what makes guitars expensive, what makes guitars inexpensive, like like all of that is what I would say, like that meme where like
you're like the more practical. You're very practically minded, versus Joe's very like. He's like, I don't want to say, I don't even know what the word to describe it. He's obviously very smart, but he's more of like the teachings. Like he's a teacher, obviously.
He's a great teacher.
Yeah.
But I wouldn't even say it that much. I would say when it comes to like playing guitar and understanding the best ways to play guitar, Joe is like an encyclopedia. Whereas I'm more like that meme where like it's like a guy has two buttons and one is like practice on the guitars you currently have, and then the other one's like buy another guitar. Yeah. I'm the one that's like pressing buy another guitar, and he's the one that's like practice on the guitars that he already has.
Yeah.
So I do practice a lot. Like over the last year, not as much. There was like one point in the last few years where I was practicing about 2 to 3 hours a day. And then what I like started realizing when I started gigging live was like I can only retain so much in my head in terms of like playing from memory. And like if I try to learn new music and like new stuff during like gigging, like it messes with me. And so there's a lot of times I get like gig ready for like a couple of bands, and I actually just practice less, not because like I need to like
you need to say that story of memory.
Yeah, it's like it's just like a routine, and it's like the only time I like. So like when we were playing like round after round of shows with Holding Space, or like I filled in for a band called Kill Lonely for a while, and like whenever I was doing both of those at the same time, it was like if I was practicing, I was doing one of those sets from start to finish to like maintain that. I wasn't like working on like picking motions and like scales. I was working on those sets specifically.
Yeah, you were objective oriented during that period of time, which makes sense. I would feel the same way too, because I mean you the last thing you want is to mess up. That's the last thing you want to do. And then at the same time, like I'm not a genius, but if I'm writing songs and that's in my head, now I'm getting a little sidetracked, or I could get sidetracked from what I'm supposed to be playing currently. Yeah. That makes a lot of sense.
Well, and I also ran for every band I've been in. I've always been the one that ran our sound and our in-ears. So like on top of like playing guitar, it was like I didn't, have time to warm up whenever I got to the venue. I was always the one making sure that like everything was wired properly, that like music was getting to front of house, backtracks were getting to front of house, click was making it to our in-ears. Like all of the mixing, like everything like that, I typically had to deal with that like day of show. So
is there like for you when you're playing live, what do you like to hear in your
Me.
Just you
click.
And the click, no drum, click. no singer.
Yeah, in fact, like Joe always gives me a hard time because of how loud my click is. Like when I go and track at Joe's place, I tell him to turn the click so high that actually one of the Threadbare songs that is on Spotify right now, we decided to leave it intentionally, but it was not intentionally put in there originally. You can hear the click through my guitar pickups because that's how loud the click was.
So you're playing through an amp, like a microphone, or
no? DI. Click made it through the DI.
Wow.
Like that's like my pickups, like not the microphone picked up the click, my pickups.
Oh, wow.
Dude, my guitar pickups picked up the click because of how loud I have the click whenever I play. So for me, like what I would normally do is like with Holding Space, I'd have an MP3 of the drums playing, not the actual drummer, but an MP3 of the drums from the like audio of our studio session so that it's exactly what I practiced to, pretty loud. I would have the backtracks pretty loud, and then I would have the click blaringly loud with our guide track, which tells us when we're moving into choruses, into verses, into next songs.
And why does it have to be so loud for you?
Because typically it's just a way to make sure I stay in time and that I know where we're going, especially if you're jumping around, moving around. You're right next to the drum kit. That's also why I use in-ears is to block out the drum kit noise.
Yeah.
And then my guitar is like then the only thing that's somewhere between everything else and the click. Click louder than my guitar. My guitar is slightly less loud than the click. Then less loud than that is drums, backtrack, and guide track. And then vocals. Like I'll usually have Zach's live vocals in there so I can hear what he's saying. But I usually, and I'll put bass in there. Usually I will completely mute the other guitar player. So like what I hear in my ears during a live performance is completely different than what the audience hears. It's basically mostly clicking and a lady yelling at me that a verse is coming up.
A lady yelling at you?
Yeah, she's like, it'll be like verse 2, 3, 4, and then it goes into it.
Like right? Siri.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And so that way, if like let's say you were playing something that repeats 8 times and you just like got into it and you don't go, oh shit, like, do I have to go 2 or 3 more times? The guide will come in and say, what's coming up. Right. So it helps in that aspect.
Definitely. That's awesome. I didn't know people. Yeah, I didn't know they had a lady.
No, lady guy
doing that.
You can change whatever voice you want. Sure.
Yeah, that's I had no idea. I wonder if other bands do that too.
Yeah. No, I mean it's a lot of bands that use pyro. Like they'll put the pyro cues in their ears as well.
Really?
So that like whenever the fire's about to go off, it'll cue in their ear like pyro. Like,
let's go over here. Let's go away from the pyro.
If you look on the stage, there's going to be like X's and stuff on the stage where they've kind of like identified places you're able to stand during pyro. And
I was thinking about that when I was at Summer of Loud during every band had pyro apparently, but yeah, I was thinking about that. Like they obviously know where not to stand.
Yeah. So they have marked spots that are going to be like safe because like as they move from venue to venue, like where like some of the pyro changes a little bit, like of exactly where it is. So they'll put marks on the stage and then they'll have usually cues in their ears of when pyro is going to be going off. And
that sounds so dangerous though. Like if they step wrong, then they can light up on fire.
Yeah,
right?
It happened to James Hetfield once, actually.
Really?
Yeah, like back before in-ears, he was standing in the wrong spot, and the pyro canyon actually burned his entire right arm.
That's crazy, man.
So, like, yeah, it happens, and it's dangerous for sure.
Yeah, my goodness. Yeah, I know you are. Oh, wait, I'm gonna go back to your. I'm gonna go way back to our discussion. But what was guitar your first instrument, or what got you into music?
No.
When you were like a baby.
So, first instrument I played was trombone.
Oh, marching band?
Yeah, well, not marching band yet, but like middle school.
Okay.
And I mean, that was probably the same
standing
year.
Band.
Yeah. And the same year that I like also played guitar. So like it wasn't that much before. So I would say like 6th grade is when I started playing guitar, and 6th grade was also when I started trombone. But
okay.
I think trombone came a little bit before. It was like I started trombone like in the fall, and then for Christmas I got my first guitar. So like 6 months apart.
Okay, yeah, you beat me by a year on guitar. I taught myself starting in the 7th grade. So what is that? 13 years old. Yeah.
So actually, funnily enough, like the first guitar I ever had was like my mom didn't know anything like what to get me, so she got me like a probably shorter than junior scale guitar that had a speaker built into the body of the guitar, and you'd put like
that's convenient.
AA batteries into it.
I need one of those.
And you would just like flip the switch up, and there was just like a little speaker there. And I was like learning how to play on that thing.
Take it to the mall or
no
something.
No way to even set it up or anything.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know like what I was doing. And then, so I played on that thing for like a year. And then it wasn't until the next Christmas that I asked for my first guitar, which was an Epiphone Les Paul.
There we go.
And learned more seriously how to play on that.
Yeah.
You know, same thing by ear. You know, just taught myself, self-taught. Luckily, growing up in the YouTube age was a good time.
For sure, dude.
For self-teaching.
For sure.
Like that and
tabs,
right?
yeah. Just like one screen over here.
Guitar Pro,
whatever.
like having like Guitar Pro, stuff like that. I can see like pre-computers, like I would have needed a guitar teacher.
Like a human being instead
like
of
to teach that to me versus like having tabs. And you know, of course, the first thing you start doing is going, you know, you don't know how to play anything, but you're like, I'm going to learn how to play One by Metallica, and you know, you haven't even learned, you know, how to properly pick yet, and you're trying to learn how to do the one solo, you know, tapping and stuff like that.
Which is fine. Like you need that inspiration. Like you're trying it and you're like, why isn't it working?
Yeah, no. I think I hit a brick, like I didn't really progress until high school. And then even then I wouldn't say I'm at my most technically advanced spot in my life musically, like when it comes to guitar right now. But I'm definitely the most advanced in terms of like understanding of the like guitar itself and being able to like write on a guitar. Like I'm definitely way ahead of wherever I was. And so like in high school, I played for a little while with a band called Hayden Oh My.
Yes.
Which actually like played Warped Tour for a bit, like right after I left and everything. And
I remember them.
They, you know, I think everyone was out in that same scene, and we all just kind of used like the same mathematical equation to write our music, which was, you know, dun 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 dun.
Well, back then it worked.
Yeah, right. And so now I think with DI and being able to have like synths and backtracks and stuff like that, it's changing like how complicated things can be. But whenever it was just like two drop tuned guitars, a bass, a singer, and a drummer, it was like okay, like how do we make it different but also the same? So that happened quite a bit.
Damn, dude. So yeah, trombone, guitar. Is there any instrument? No, you're probably not. But is there any instrument that you're trying to learn or you want to learn? Or maybe is there an instrument that you're like, if I had the God-given talent to like learn an instrument in 24 hours with like no hassle, what would you want to learn?
Oh, drums, because it's probably the one thing that I'm like the worst at. Like,
really?
Yeah, like I wouldn't even say I can program it. Like it's just drums, and I just don't get along.
Actually, I was the drums. I was a guitarist, but I played the drums. I was a drummer for, remember Adam? Yeah. So I was his drummer, in high school. So I had double kick and everything.
No, yeah, and
it's fun.
You know, I can't relate. Like I am also one of those people that like, unless I'm playing guitar in a similar like tempo and pattern as I'm singing, I can't sing and play guitar at the same time either.
Yeah.
Like I can't sing with a different pattern than like
as technical as you are. I don't, and no one expects that.
But if you've ever seen like Trivium live, like they do that.
Yeah.
That's crazy. They'll
Next
be
level.
like shredding while singing, and it's incredible. I mean, so yeah, no, I don't really know that there's a instrument I like can't play except for drums. Like
Well, I only did it because no one else was gonna do it.
Yeah. Well, dude, it's impossible to find drummers now. Like, and when I go, like, it's the same like 5 or 6 guys in San Antonio that are like in 5 bands each, because it's hard to find good drummers. Like it really, really, really is hard to find good drummers.
Well, yeah, it's a big piece of you got to have a good size of real estate, or just rent it out or something. Rent it. But that's cool. I wanted to. You have another project called Intrusive Thoughts.
Yeah.
What's going on there?
Yeah, so that's gonna be my next project in terms of full band, so vocals, everything, right? So Threadbare right now is
you sing?
Yep, I'm gonna be singing on it.
Heck yeah.
You know, taking some vocal lessons actually from.
How's that going? I always thought about trying vocal lessons.
Well, I'm starting soon.
Okay.
So the person I'm taking from is on tour right now, and so
Professional.
Yes. So specifically for like vocal fries, things like that.
Perfect.
I'm trying to not just like use YouTube. I'm trying to like actually get some coaching, make sure I don't destroy my vocal cords.
That's good. I was gonna say because now we're getting it could get medical, so you don't want to go that route. So that's very smart that you're doing that.
Yep. Yeah. So intrusive thoughts, probably not going to see much come out of it for another 6 to 12 months.
Okay.
But that's going to be the avenue that the stuff that I had written for Holding Space that never made it out is going to come out on. I also have a few new songs. We have one song that's like kind of like country core, I would say.
Oh, let's go.
Well, what's funny is I would say brought out the glass slide, but we couldn't find a glass slide when we were in the studio, so I used a screwdriver. And so I literally was like playing guitar with, like picking, but actually using with my left hand, I was using the screwdriver to like slide on the strings.
Which it might sound pretty cool.
Oh, dude, it sounds cool for sure. It's and it's different, but sometimes whenever you get a little too experimental, it's like then you like listen to it like a month later and you're like, I don't know, that might have been too much. But so right now that's kind of what I'm going through with intrusive thoughts is like it's so different. I'm trying to figure out like what it is, but the good thing about having different avenues right now is like I started writing something for Threadbare last week, and after listening to it and listening to it and listening to it, I didn't realize like, oh, this isn't a Threadbare song. This is an intrusive thought song. And so I can kind of pull it over. And then in the same sense, if I'm writing something for intrusive thoughts and it's like too technical, I'm like, I don't really know how I'm going to layer the vocals over this, but I'm like, can think of like really cool guitar melodies, then I'll be like, maybe this is a Threadbare song. So like having the different avenues is nice for sure.
That's good, man. And who's doing the recording for that or the mixing mastering? Is it the same?
Joe.
Joe again?
Yeah, Joe's doing all of that for us on intrusive thoughts right now. So I use Joe for pretty much everything right now when it comes to like producing, mostly because he and I have a good enough rapport to where like I am a little bit more controlling, especially in like the producing and how things go space, and he's very open to like taking my input, and he's also very open to like trying interesting things.
I would trust you. I mean, if I were Joe or if I were anyone, I think you're one of the people that probably knows a thing or two about what's going on here, especially with the guitars and the what we're dealing with in our hands right now. So no, I definitely see that, and same for you to trust him too. It sounds like he's the man.
Yeah, he's the man. If you want like a really good sounding mix and aren't a like snob, what I mean by that is like if you're like, I need the latest and greatest microphones, the latest and greatest preamps, the latest and greatest everything, and you want to spend the $200 an hour for that in a studio, Joe's not your guy. But if you're like, if you're pretty like logical about it and you're like, once all of this is mixed together, you're not going to be able to tell that a vintage preamp was or wasn't used at this stage, like, then Joe's your guy because he's going to be way less expensive.
Yeah.
And so I can get a lot more creative and I can just have conversations with him in the studio because of the fact that, he's inexpensive enough to where I can just like build rapport, and I'm not like versus going to like a brick and mortar studio that's charging me $200 an hour. It's like every second counts, and you don't want to waste any time.
So stressful.
So a lot of my stuff, like I come up with in the studio, like I'll change it up. I wouldn't do that at like a $200 an hour studio because it's like I would be coming in with everything, knowing exactly what I'm going to play because you have to make your time worth it.
Yeah, definitely, man. And he lives in San Antonio, right?
Yeah,
Joe. Yeah, so
he actually lives
perfect.
very close to here. So.
Okay, well, yeah, that's cool. I want to meet him sometime. Maybe like at a show or something. Like if you hang out with them or I don't know, we'll figure it out.
Yeah, no, we can do that for sure. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what your schedule's like. You can always come hang out with us while we track or something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
You can do like an little offsite shoot if you want.
Yeah, that'd be pretty fun actually. What do you like to do in your free time? I mean, this is your free time.
This is my free time.
But like,
now, this is gonna be it for a little bit. For a long time, I did a lot of fishing.
Oh, that's cool. I saw that you were out yesterday or the day before.
Yeah, yesterday.
With the girlfriend.
Yep, went out with her. We went and got 10 black drum, which is the limit. So we limited out on black drum. Took our dogs out. I'm doing that a lot less than I used to. I used to do it every other weekend or so. Up until this year, fished on the professional redfish tour, did all this stuff. Now it's taking a back seat to life, focusing a little more on music than I am on fishing for the time being. So
that's cool, man. Yeah, that's really awesome.
Don't really play any video games.
Yeah.
Don't really.
This is our video games.
Don't really like watch movies. I'll watch movies and TV shows with someone, but like if I'm alone, I am playing guitar probably. Yeah. I'm like writing, playing guitar, or like tinkering with like a live rig to see like if I can configure the in-ear monitors to sound better or something like that.
No, I think you're built different. I'm kind of like that in a way. Like yesterday I was trying to watch Avatar 1 for the first time ever. And I saw it was like 3 hours long, and so I got like maybe into like 30 minutes of it, and I was like, I need to work on this podcast. I'm doing something over here, so I turned it off. But yeah, I want to finish Avatar sometime soon. But my brain's not ready for it, man. It's just I want to do this. You know what I'm saying?
I've never seen Avatar.
Yeah.
Never seen it.
It's good. The first 30 minutes is good. I'll tell you that much.
First 30 minutes?
It's really good, dude.
Maybe I'll watch the first 30 minutes.
Yeah. It's really cool. But yeah, and then also let's talk a little bit about like outside of music.
Okay.
Like you went to college, you went to OU.
Still going.
Still going to OU?
For my 4th degree.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, 4th degree right now.
Do you want to say what you're going for?
Oh, yeah.
Or you don't have to say it.
I mean, yeah, so I have a natural sciences degree and a meteorology degree for like before we start getting into postgraduate stuff. Then postgraduate, I have an MBA in aerospace and defense, and then I have Masters of Science. They have
MBA in aerospace and defense?
Yeah.
Like like if you want to work for like a big like Boeing
defense,
or something?
Like defense contractor, yeah.
That's wild.
So got that from OU. And now I'm getting like my 4th degree, which I'll finish up in December, is a Master's of Science in Data Analytics. So
damn.
So
you're very I can see why you're so technical in guitar. You're a science driven person. Yeah. That's factual,
very logical. I don't really I don't like
it. Adds up.
Yeah.
I never knew what you studied.
Yeah. I don't think I'll use the meteorology much anymore. I still have a ton of people who ask me if it's going to rain today or not. And I'm like...
you open up the window. Probably.
Yeah, exactly, right? Like, if you're not sticking with that and, like, keeping up with the trends all the time, then, like, might as well not even have that degree. But, it was still an analytical job for a while that I had it. And, I did that in the military for a long time. And then, And then, now I work for, defense contracting is like my bread and butter.
Heck yeah, man. That's awesome. So you're an OU diehard, would you say?
Yeah. I know that's going to make Adam really happy.
Yeah.
Because I know Adam.
Yeah, he
loves OU.
Yeah. Adam Trevino, for those who don't know, he's a strength and conditioning coach here in San Antonio. He does a fantastic job. Yeah. But yeah, so that's like our friend. So, but that's funny though. I always wanted to go like an OU game. It looks a lot of fun. Maybe you should take me some time. I'll hit you up. Well, do you go to games with me?
We should go to the OU Texas game. Man,
Adam's always going to that.
I know. We'll get you to wear OU gear, and then we'll see how things go.
We'll see how things go.
Putting me on and what he has now. Are they engaged?
They're engaged now.
So I thought, okay, Krista.
Yeah, he and Crystal. Yeah,
or Crystal.
Yeah,
okay,
they're gonna get.
She actually works for like strength and conditioning.
Yes, but let's not say exactly where, because I don't know. I want to keep the privacy, there. So
both of them, as much as I want to like fight them over the OU Texas thing, I think.
Oh, it's gonna be funny.
I think they would probably beat me.
Have you ever had beef with Adam like on that before, like in any time?
No. I've never had any beef with Adam or
No. I'm just saying like fun beef.
Probably
Yeah.
on social media.
Yeah.
But yeah, all I was getting at is both of them are strength and conditioning coaches, so I probably don't want to actually have
yeah. You gotta be careful with those
real
guys.
beef with them because I think
they carry their guns. You know what I'm saying?
they would beat me up for sure.
That's cool, man.
Yeah.
I don't take much of your time. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna, we talked about your two projects right now that you're working on, Intrusive and Thread. Is there anything else that you want to promote before we kind of end this whole thing? Like, is there anything else that we should know? What's going on? What can be expected?
No,
music?
just based on when this comes out, there's definitely going to be like 5 Threadbare songs out. So go listen to Threadbare. That's going to be like my main plug here. Intrusive Thoughts will be coming down the line, but like we're talking 6-12 months. So maybe I'll come on again to promote that once we're
That'd be fantastic.
Once we're closer. And definitely want to plug like all of the guitar, all the guitar enthusiasts out there, like keep it up,
Absolutely.
My main brands, we got Mayonnaise, who is like my tried and true. Schecter USA, use them a lot. Gibson, Diodario strings, and then Kemper. Like those.
Oh, you use the Dario too?
Yeah.
Can I ask which one do you play?
So I play the NYXLs and I play the 10 through 52s.
I was gonna say I play the 1149.
Do you?
For some reason, I don't even know why I play that, but
yeah, I like the 10 through 52s personally. Just because I like a little bit thinner on the low end, and I like a little bit heavier on the high end, especially.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. So the 10 through 52s are gonna, like, the bottom strings are gonna be thinner than yours, but the top strings are gonna be heavier than yours.
What am I doing wrong, dude?
So
I'm gonna try those.
Whereas the 11 through, what did you say,
49.
49s. So those are gonna be like just straight mediums, I think, because you're gonna have 11s, or those may even be heavy bottoms.
I have it right here.
I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is either their medium heavy or their medium, but this is like their balance.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be balanced for them, whereas mine is like lighter strings for like your higher notes, like your G, B and E strings, and then heavier for your E, A, and D. And that's just because I drop tune. I used to.
Yeah, I drop tune too, but
I used to drop tune a bunch. Like I would tune from drop D down to drop C. I transpose everything now, so I literally have all of my guitars that are 6 strings are set up in drop D, except for maybe like my custom shop Fenders and standard.
Do you know what bands use your strings? The 1052, right? 1052.
Yeah, so 10 through 52s are gonna be good if you like a slightly heavier string in drop D, or if you're playing in drop C. I would not suggest going lighter than the 10 through 52s if you're like actually tuning your guitar to drop C or below. You can definitely play in drop B with the 10 through 52s, but you're going to start getting a little bit of flub in that low end.
I like playing drop B.
So if you like playing drop B, I would highly suggest checking out the 10 through 52s and seeing how you like that, because you're going to get a little more clarity in the low end.
Is drop A pushing it?
Oh, yeah. Well, you see, I don't play drop A on 6 strings anymore. I only play it on, that's what I set up all my 7 strings on. So like for me, all of my guitars are in drop D. They're all in drop D. And if I'm playing in drop B, my Kemper is transposing me down to drop B. I am not retuning my guitar to drop B.
Yeah.
And then the next song might be in drop C, and it'll transpose on its own whenever I change my patch. So I never change guitars or anything. Like, if I'm changing guitars, it's because like, oh, I'm going to change to my Ibanez because I need a floating trim for a part, right? It's not because, and I'm on a EVERTUNE right now. But yeah, like man, I could go on and on.
And yeah,
about
and it's
guitar setups,
and I love it. I love it.
Like so I don't know. Maybe we do another one specifically just on guitar setups or something. But
that would be very cool. Because yeah, man. Like I said, I don't want to take more of your time today, but one more question I want to ask you: are there any like songs that you like that are not metal or rock? Is there anything that's just like you don't want the world to hear about it, like that you'll jam to like once in a while? Like, is there an artist out there that you listen to?
You know,
it could be country, it could be pop or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
So I'll give you three bands. Well, not three bands. I'll give you like one like mainstream like pop artist who I think is actually very talented, and that's Billie Eilish. Like,
oh yeah,
I think she is extremely talented. I think that like when you listen, it's not just a bunch of like meaningless pop beats. It's like her voice is just like very good.
Oh yeah.
Like, so when it comes to like pop, I think she's great. What's funny is I really liked a couple of albums ago, or maybe it was her last full album, Demi Lovato.
Oh my goodness, yeah.
She brought out like a rock album, and honestly, it was really good.
Really?
And she toured, and she brought out Nita Strauss to be her lead guitarist, who is a legend.
Yes, I know who that is.
Yeah, and I mean, she's an absolute legend. And so, like, awesome. Like, women in metal, like Courtney LaPlante, like, I'm super excited to see more women getting involved in metal. You know, I think it's great. So anyways, that's the more mainstream stuff. In terms of like someone who's like my probably favorite like mesh band right now, that's like a mesh of like metal and not metal, is Bill Murray. Like, like Bill Murray,
it's such a meme band, dude, but it's so good.
They're so good.
They're doing something right there.
They are so good.
Adam told me about Bill Murray.
Did he? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I tell you what, I went and saw them in Austin, and it was so rowdy, but they are so good, and they are able to like pull together that like pop country-ish like and like down tuning together, and it's great. And then my favorite new metal band that like a lot of people may have heard of, a lot of people haven't, is Dreamwake. Okay. Dreamwake is like on repeat for me right now. Like, to me, they are doing phenomenally. Like, they have highly technical guitars, sing a ton, and they have a saxophonist, and it's just like,
I'm ready for that. I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, thanks for hanging out with me. I'm gonna put both of your new projects down below on the YouTube video.
All right.
To promote for you guys. I want y'all to do very well. I think it is gonna do well. But yeah, thanks for teaching me about guitars and just what how to alternate ways to tune a guitar.
Yeah.
So I didn't know a lot of that, and I'm sure people are gonna figure that out through you right now. New beginners, or maybe someone who's been playing for a long time, but maybe just an old timer like me. And so I think it's fantastic that you have a lot of knowledge, and I'm willing to share it with people.
Yeah, absolutely, dude.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.